How to learn a language effectively. 4 steps to learning a language. Learning a new language can be an exciting but difficult task. There are many different methods that people use to learn a new language. Some of these methods include Immersion, Rosetta Stone, and Duolingo. Immersion is the most popular way to learn a language. This method involves learning in the environment where the language is spoken. For instance, if one wants to learn Spanish, they would move to Spain or live with Spanish speakers for an extended period of time. Rosetta Stone is another popular language learning system that has been around for over 20 years now and has helped over 1 million people learn languages all over the world since its creation in 1992. Duolingo is a newer approach that takes a different approach than Rosetta Stone, and it doesn't require any money or subscription. Step 1. Deconstructing the language into basic parts. The first step in the process of writing a persuasive essay is breaking down the language into its basic parts. This makes it easier to understand how and why words are used together, and therefore how you can change those words to make your message more powerful. The first step in writing a persuasive essay is not actually putting pen to paper, but instead breaking down the language into its basic parts. This allows for easier understanding of how and why words are used together, and consequently how they can be changed to make that message more powerful. Breaking down language into its base components makes it much easier for a writer to see where an argument's power comes from and what can be changed about it in order to make it more effective. Step 2. Study the grammar rules. Everyone has a different way of tackling the grammar rules. Some people prefer to study them in a sequential order, while other people prefer studying them in a more random order. You should try to find out what works best for you and stick with that method. Some people have the misconception that the only way to study the grammar rules is by memorizing them. But this can be really difficult if you're a visual learner or if you don't like memorizing things. Luckily, there are many different ways of getting around this problem. One really helpful study technique is practicing sentences over and over again until you memorize the grammar rule, or until it becomes second nature to use them correctly in your sentences. Step 3. Learn vocabulary by context and usage. Learning vocabulary is one of the most time-consuming tasks for a language learner. But with the help of technology, this process can be made easier. Apps like Word Reference makes it easy to look up the meaning and usage of a word in any context. This will help us to learn vocabulary by context and usage as opposed to rote memorization. Step 4. Put it all together and speak to practice. You and your team will be able to put all the skills discussed together in this course into practice on a case study provided by the instructor.